What's going on, you guys? It's Thomas here. Today we're going to be introducing you to one of the key concepts in Java programming, the if statement. So programming is essentially when you write a set of instructions for a computer to follow. But sometimes a computer needs to make decisions on its own. For example, if you log into a website, the computer needs to decide what to do if you type the password in wrong or if you type it in correct. But before I explain to you how to teach a computer to make a decision for itself, how conditionals work in Java, and how the Boolean plays into all of this, I want you to make a decision. If you're enjoying this video, click the like button. Else, comment any feedback that you have for me. What I just asked you to do was actually an if statement. You see, an if statement operates on something called a condition. So a condition is just a way for a computer to decide if something is true or false. So when writing an if statement, you start out by writing if, then you put parentheses, and inside those parentheses you write your condition. So a condition could be something like, if you like this video, or if 5 is more than 4. Both should, I hope, evaluate to true. Next we open up a code block. So to open up a code block, we're essentially going to put an opening bracket, and inside the code block we will write what code is to be executed if the if statement is true. In our conditional, if you enjoyed this video, we may write the code viewer.likeVideo. What that'll essentially do is make the viewer like the video if the viewer enjoyed the video. Once we're done writing our actions, we'll just close the code block. So to do that, we'll put a closing bracket, and then we're done. So essentially, if the condition we wrote is met, then the code in the code block will be executed. But what if we have multiple conditions to test, and well, what is an else statement? So if you have multiple conditions to test, it's pretty simple. If the first statement turns out false, then it's just not going to execute. So if you have a second condition you want to test, you're just going to write else if, and then you're going to put your condition and your code block. And you can put as many else if statements as you like. And what if you just want to have a default code that will execute if any of the above if statements are false? Well, for that we're just going to use else. So to write an else statement, you literally just write else, no parentheses necessary. Then you put your code block, and if the if statement does not execute because the condition is false, it will execute the code for the else statement. Finally, what does a Boolean have to do with all of this? Well, when writing an if statement, you put a condition in the parentheses. That condition can either be true or false. Well, a Boolean is essentially a variable that can either be true or false. So essentially, when you're writing a condition, you're just putting a Boolean in there. So since a Boolean and a condition are so similar, you can actually put a Boolean as your condition, and if the Boolean is set to true, your condition will set to true, and if your Boolean is set to false, your condition will set to false. So let's go back to that first if statement I gave you. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Else, comment any feedback you have for me. What does it evaluate to on your end? Let me know by executing the code. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.